So Taiwan has been dealing with this pandemic seriously for the last couple of months, because before then, COVID never really came into Taiwan, and for a lot of people it's been pretty rough. A lot of people have lost a lot of money, people are going crazy. But for me, to be honest, it's kind of been pretty awesome. Also, it's a bit late, so I probably shouldn't be talking too loud. So the first way that the pandemic has affected my life is that it's given me the opportunity to focus on YouTube full-time, which has been pretty cool because I've never really been able to do that because I'm always working all the time at my other normal job. And it's given me a different perspective on what it's like to be my own boss and some of the advantages and disadvantages to being a YouTuber full time. I think some of the advantages are quite obvious. I'm my own boss, and so I've got my own schedule, and so I can go where I want and do what I want anytime. I don't have anyone telling me what to do, which is a great thing because it gives me a lot more time for content creation. The only bad thing is that I often go a little crazy because I might not have something to do, or I don't have an idea, or I don't have any goals or any structure or any path to follow because I can do whatever I want. And that sounds awesome for people who don't have that, and it is a lot of fun, but it can also drive you insane. I meant to be taking these U-bikes to get to where I'm going, but I forgot my little car that you have to use at home, so what a waste of my time. I'll probably just use the U-bikes. They're cheap and better for the environment. Ridiculous. This is way more convenient. So normally in my job, I have so many responsibilities in the morning. I have to get up at 7 and immediately I'm just rushing. I'm rushing to get everything done. I have to get in the shower and grab my coffee and get dressed and rush my way to school. I got to be there by 8 o'clock, and then, I have these kids to take care of, and they're like a pretty big responsibility, and it's just so much stress every day, so early in the morning, 5 days a week. It wears on you, and it can be a lot. It's not just like a type of job where you can just go in and relax and settle, and because they're kids, they have so much energy, and it's not just kind of just go right from the start. And it's a very high energy work environment. Look how dark it is. The malls have shut their lights. I think probably because they're closed, and Taiwan Boulevard is just so dark and depressing now. That's in such stark contrast to what my life is like now, because I can just wake up whenever I please. There are no children to take care of. It's not high stress. I can choose where I get my coffee from. It's like the best. It's so nice. It's so relaxing, and there's no real pressure on me to get things done from other people. The only pressure is, put on me is myself. That's the advantage, but it does come with some pretty severe disadvantages as well. Say for example, I have a video idea. So I'm doing YouTube full time now, right? Because I'm not at work, like I said. People often give this advice that I hate, if you have an idea, just do it. Just do it. Don't worry about it. Just film it. But it's not that simple, because it's not just do it, because you're not just making a video. You're also committing the following 5 to 10 hours to plan your shots, film the thing, edit it, do the subtitles, get all that work done. If you want to know how I get my YouTube videos done, you can check that out over on my Patreon. But you have to really choose a good topic that people are going to want to watch. And if you mess it up, and if you choose a topic that nobody cares about, that nobody watches, it really gets you down because you tried so hard, and all of that effort is completely not rewarded, which is what happened to me last week. I made a video about China versus Taiwan, parents, and I told some interesting stories, and nobody watched it. It's a horribly performing video, and that really gets you down. Okay, so take all of that into account. Now make it your job. Now make it your only source of income. Now you've just missed a paycheck. Now you haven't put food on the table, and if you have a family support, which I don't, but if you do, you're fucked. You've completely thrown them under the bus because you didn't perform that week or for that video. That's part of the reason why I don't do YouTube full time, because my job, my kindergarten teaching job, gives me a stable income every month. Even though it does take up a lot of my hours, it's a full-time job. It takes up so much of my time to have to do that. And it's so much stress to have to take care of other people's kids and make sure that they're safe and make sure that they're learning and that they're happy, and there's a lot of pressure to do that because you really can't mess that up. And the second way that my life has been affected has been the fact that I've lost a ton of money. Because my kindergarten is shut, schools are shut, I of course haven't been paid the last 2 months. I haven't been receiving those paychecks that I'm used to. So I'm relying on YouTube for my income, which isn't very much money. And this really isn't really relatable to very many people, but because I don't live in the States, I get taxed from my American viewers. So if you're watching from the States right now, I'm getting taxed on your views. I'm not sure what that guy can see out of that mirror. It's just pointing at his own hand. But just to give you an example, my income from YouTube last month was 900-ish Canadian dollars, and the American government took 100 of that.
And I can't figure out why, because it's not like I'm gaining anything by paying American taxes. So congratulations. You're welcome, Americans. I've just given your government $100 while I reap zero benefit from that. Like, I don't get residency. I don't get your ambulance services or your road maintenance or whatever the hell the tax money goes to. I benefit nothing from that. It's a new thing that's just happened. So it's just an extra thing taking my money away at a time when I'm not making anything. This is why I'm also very appreciative of my patrons, because they've really helped me keep my head above water in the past couple of months. They've been a big help to me. Really, I can't wait for, the schools to open up again so I can start making money, because I just don't make enough from YouTube to really live off of it. And I miss my students. I miss my job. I love my job. I love doing YouTube full time too. It brings me a lot of joy and a lot of meaning to my life, because that's the other way that my life has been affected. My life feels a little meaningless because I don't have anyone to serve aside from myself. I think a big part of the reason why I like being a kindergarten teacher so much is because I have a purpose. I have people to serve. I have people to work for and to help and to educate and learn and grow and all that kind of fun stuff. It gives your day meaning. And if you don't have any schedule, or if you don't have anyone telling you what to do, you kind of lose that in a weird way. And I know that it sounds weird for people who maybe have a boss and would really like to be their own boss, but trust me, try it first and then you'll find out, just how stressful or how sad it can be without anything to do all day. And the last way my life has been affected rather negatively from this pandemic, I'm gonna go talk to a fella, maybe you've heard of him, if I can find some goddamn parking around his apartment.
There you are. I didn't have a transition for coming up here, so I put them in the cupboard.
Oh well, it's been there all day.
And I feel bad almost even just complaining about it, because I think that we've gotten so lucky by having it not in Taiwan for so long, but you do go a little stir crazy when there's nowhere to go and nothing to do. I've always found Taiwan to be like not the most happening place, but now that everything is legitimately closed, and I have no job and I'm sitting at home just working it alone, I find coming here and just working with you so much better to have someone just to like be around, because you just go so crazy, like stir crazy.
Yeah, totally. I've been doing that for a year.
Yeah, you've been really struggling with this.
I've been doing it all last year since I was full time, but then this year, having that option taken away to go to a restaurant and edit, or go to a coffee shop and edit, having all of that taken away is like the control and the power. My arrogance cannot handle it. Like, I just like to make my own decisions, and having that taken away from me has just driven me into a...
yeah, you go really mad. I can't even imagine what people must be like that have kids, because they're at home all day long, and like normally you would have people like me to take care of them, and then you go home and then you miss them because you've been at work and you have a good time. Now they're bothering you all day long, so if you have like a particularly annoying child, you must want to kick them like a goddamn window.
I think every child is annoying. Like, there's no such thing as a particularly annoying child. If you've got...
I don't think so. I've got some kids.
You could not spend 24 hours a day with any child.
I could.
No way.
There are some of my students are really low maintenance.
Okay, yeah, but then that's their problem. Like, they're just focused on something else.
I like that, like really quiet kids that just sit in the corner.
Yeah, okay, well, anyone can deal with that.
I'm also really curious, and I'd love to know in which ways your guys' lives have been affected during this pandemic, and maybe you guys can let off some steam and complain a little in the comment section. But if you want to know what life in Taiwan is like in an even bigger crisis, then you can check out this video here.